And now on to the players, and after 16 major world ranking victories under his belt, this former world champion certainly has the X factor. Hoping to gain the title for the third time, would you please give it up for the Wizard of Wishaw, John Higgins! And now on to a man who has set record after record. He is undoubtedly one of the greatest players of all time and has achieved what no man has done in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 times world snooker champion, Stephen Hendry!
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame, John Higgins to Prix.
John Higgins stands 6th in the world rankings, which is the lowest that he's been since he became world number 1 after winning the 1997 world title. But this week there's been plenty of evidence that he's getting back to his best. Stephen Hendry also dropped to a career low, well, since he became an established player anyway, to a career low of 6th, but he's come back to 2nd in the rankings and is intent on securing his 37th world ranking title this week. From distance, but dead straight, and as early in the match as it is, he'll be disappointed not to have potted it.
Yes, from the way he played it, well, there'd be a choice of pink to the right middle, but he's left this red, now you can clearly see it. And the reason John Higgins is taking this red, it clears the black for the left corner pocket.
One.
The red just above the black, looks as though it will pot. There you see it just goes, and in fact in playing the black he could just brush past the red and make it more available. Just got into it a little bit too much. But he's still on it.
8. John Higgins, 8.
Short range red, overcut.
Okay. Ordinary one.
May have been wondering about how the cannon was going to work out, but a bad mistake nevertheless.
Yes, we see it so many times. Just a bit concerned where the cue ball's going to finish. Take your eye off the pot. Could be costly. Not easy, this, though, to get the cue ball away from the pocket. That's the problem. If it had been using anything but the spider, it wouldn't have been difficult to get on good on the colour. He's still on the black, but it's a little bit trickier than he would like.
Stephen Hendry, 1.
Overcut. Playing to leave himself on the red nearest the baulk pocket.
Yes, 2 of the best players that's ever picked up a cue, but a little bit of nerves there at the start. I think both players know that this is an important match, and the fact that both of them have shown good form this week. There'll be a lot of respect out there
27 previous meetings between these two, of which Hendry has won 15 and Higgins 12. That was one he had to get because he was going into that bunch of reds.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17.
A little bit straighter on this black than he would have liked. That's why he's now looking at the pink as a second option. A bit more of an angle would have been better, but he should be able to force it round with two cushions. Oh, he's played that really well. Inch perfect.
24. 25. 32. 33. 40. 41.
Very nice kiss eventually.
40.
Yes, it's not the kiss he intended, but it's okay. Just. That's the line he'd like to get, to screw and avoid the other red, but can he Can he avoid the second red to be on the black? Oh, played it well.
$47. $54. $55.
Well placed now to clinch this opening frame. As he takes this red,
62.
it will make another one possible to the other corner.
$63.
Yes, but just the black needed. Both players had a chance early on, missed uncharacteristically. It didn't take long for Stephen to get in the swing of things, and he's taken these very, very well. Good start.
70.
One snooker was already needed once he potted the black,
71.
but now that red alone gave him all the extra insurance he needed.
$78. $79. $86.
Can move the awkward red as he pots this one.
$87.
He's a century machine. There's nothing he likes better than to make 100. As he's proved with the amount he's made. And if he gets on this last red, no reason that he won't make another one.
$90. $91.
Black and yellow for his 677th competitive century.
$98.
Plus, of course, several thousand in practice, which he long ago stopped counting.
Yes, and a stat I mentioned the other day, I was discussing with Stephen and Willie Thorne, the maximum man. Stephen has made over 300 maximum breaks.
103.
I think it's 8 in match play, but the rest in practice. Must be a joy to practice with.
107.
You'd be pulling the balls out all day, wouldn't you?
Stephen Hendry, 107, and the frame.
And with that break of 107, Stephen Hendry stamps his early authority. He leads by a frame to nil. Preston Guildhall is the venue for this, the first ranking event of the season. We've been coming here since 1978. It was the venue for the UK Championship for several years. But whatever the event, the Lancashire public have invariably turned out in force to support it.
The third frame, John Higgins to break.
Most players break off from the yellow side of the D. Higgins prefers the green side. It's basically the same shot, except that the break off from the green side is played with left of centre striking, and from the yellow side with right of centre.
One.
Well, that was a good long pot from Stephen. But for the kiss on the second red, he'd have been better on this blue. And it into the right centre.
Usually very reliable on that shot, but cannon the green full ball,
6.
bringing the cue ball out of baulk.
Now, this will be an interesting choice of shot. There's a red just left of the pink. He can get in between the blue and pink to pot this red in the left corner. I'm not suggesting it's a shot to play, but we know how aggressive and attacking Stephen can be. I mean, he could think he could pot it and stun across for the pink in the left centre. Maybe there's a red just below it he can play as a shot for nothing. But you know with Stephen, he's going to be looking for some pot. Every time he pots a ball, he's looking to win the frame.
Stephen Hendry, 6.
Hendry's bold pot failed then.
One.
Well, it wasn't clear until the balls had stopped rolling
Just one extension on it, yeah?
what colour Higgins was going to be on.
Do you want a cue extension?
Well, he's just come round and had a look. The red, just above the black, if you could get at that nice angle, you could pot that and remove the red just to the left of the black. So finishing on this green as he's done could be quite advantageous. He'd love the cue ball to be back where it is now. Well, that looks perfect to me. And a great opportunity here to pot this red. Well, maybe a little bit straight. You still get the cannon, it's automatic. But if it's a little bit straight, you'd have a little bit more control on the cue ball. Well, that's the shot. Pot this red and cannon the other red away from the black. And then the black will be available into both corner pockets.
4. 5. $12. 13. 18.
18.
90.
Well, there's a red on the top cushion. There's one loose red on the right-hand side of the table. He's just having a look at the main bunch. He doesn't look to have the perfect angle to go into. He may be able to force a bit of an angle. Maybe there's a red that will go. No, he's playing for the loose one. But it's imperative off
26.
this one. He gets a good angle, possibly on the blue, to try and open up this bunch of reds.
$27.
Well, a little bit more angle would have been better, but just enough to force it down. Could have been better.
32.
It could certainly have been better.
Well, the only possible is a very awkward cut down the right-hand side cushion.
Well, is he thinking of playing safe? He is. And I think there you see the
Higgins,
difference
32.
between the two players. I don't think there's any way in the world that Stephen Hendry would have played safe there. Listen, for me, that's the right shot from John Higgins. I'm just comparing the two attitudes of the two players. If it wasn't for that red there, which we've circled, it would be a straightforward safety. But if he's going to play safe down the left-hand side of the table, he's got to try and avoid that red. As I say, if it wasn't there, it'd be a pretty straightforward safety shot, this.
He could play thin off the bunch, or rather the end red in the bunch, but there's a danger then of clipping out the end red and leaving it possible to the right corner.
I do believe he's contemplating the pot on this red. He doesn't see a good safety. Well, this is a tough shot.
One.
You can't cater for that. Two different players, two different attitudes of mind. But what a great pot. What a great pot that was. He is fearless.
8. Nine.
Just undercut that slightly. He
16.
didn't want to play for the red along the top cushion. He's played for a red to the right centre. Straighter would have been nicer. He could have played for the black. So it's up for the pink.
17.
I said the pink because the blue wouldn't go. Decision time. He's had a close look. See, there's a plant in that little cluster of four. Or he could play the cannon coming round off two cushions. Cannon it is. Just caught the end red. Now, is there a plant there? He had a look a moment ago. Well, it's not
23.
on. It'd have to be made. Well, does the lower red of the 3 go? Just about.
24.
It's there. He made certain of the red. He's not got good position on the colour. This black's tricky.
Potting the half awkward
31.
balls well, isn't he?
Yes, and there's a classic example there for me. And of course, he's
32.
born out of his great confidence in his potting ability. But that black was a tricky black. But he made it as simple as possible by just rolling it in. He didn't try to do a lot with the cue ball. Knew he'd be on something in a fashion. And every likelihood now that he'll win the frame at this visit.
38.
Yes, all from that great red he potted to the right corner from distance down the cushion.
Yes, a red that John Higgins refused from...
45.
Well, he was a lot closer than Stephen was. But to be fair, Stephen was in a corner and he thought, well, I'll try and pot my way out of trouble. Well, I'm surprised at that.
46.
Played for that cannon on the other red and he's not got it. See, he's 20 points in front now. If he'd have played for the black, that'd have been 27. Now another red and a black, 35, so he did need that red, so that's why he played the cannon. But he didn't get it. Oh, that's a good roll.
Stephen Hendry, 46.
They may look easy, those shots, but they're not. Couldn't shake of the head. Disappointed he didn't win the frame at that visit. But he'll probably get another chance.
It's okay, John. Thanks.
Left everything safe with his escape.
Well, it's decision time now for John Higgins. Straightforward cross double safety. Or does he go for the pot? He's playing the safe. Put a trace of left-hand side on the cue ball. Ooh, we caught the red much too thick. Much too thick. Has he left it? Lucky boy.
Well, obviously, if the red remains there, it will be a very difficult shot for Hendry to cover it, so he's at least got to play to move it, I think.
That's the most obvious shot. Just roll dead weight. Because the most important thing now for Stephen is to get this safe. Although he's got a 20-point lead, if he loses a chance here for John Higgins, well, does this red go? Didn't look as though it did. Well, that's the plant of all plants. I know he probably thought, well, if it doesn't go in, then at least I'm moving the red from the pocket, but dear me. And underlined it by potting a pressure blue, so just a red and a colour needed. Turned out to be a great choice of shot. The plant.
Seven.
About 2 feet between the two reds. And the second red well out from the pocket.
As I say, I think he just took the
14.
attitude, well, if the red near the pocket doesn't go in, at least I won't leave it over the pocket, but it's a strange choice of shot, but it looks good now, doesn't it?
Stephen Hendry, 14.
To leave Higgins needing 2 snookers. That should be 2-1 to Hendry.
Thank you, frame 5. John Higgins to break.
John Higgins did fire on all cylinders prior to the mid-session interval. He knows that he's got to improve. As Hendry has been extremely clinical, certainly in 3 of the frames. He's already made breaks of 107 and 90.
An aggressive safety shot from John Higgins. Only just caught the bump of the middle pocket. But it may be okay. Although there is a red. And the reason I'm circling that red, he could play that red and get a thin cannon on the red to the left of it, and it'd probably take him back up to the balk end.
One. Five. Six. 12. $13.
Quite happy to concentrate on the pink here. The black is available, but I'm not quite certain where the black would go after he potted it. So I can only assume that Stephen wouldn't be happy with that, so he's just concentrating on the pink. And
Nice.
there's enough loose reds. That last safety shot of John Higgins really opened things up. And it's a dangerous ploy, that.
20.
If you play an aggressive safety to try and open up the balls, you need to get it safe. And he just caught the bump of the middle pocket. Didn't find the baulk cushion. Well, is that okay, or has Stephen run too far?
25.
He's okay. Just can get to this, only just. And
26.
short of pace on the blue, so you'll have to be playing the pink here. It's the only colour there you see, just the wrong side of the blue. Pink it is. He played it nice. He's looking good. He's looking very good.
32. $33.
Hendry's worked very hard on the practice table prior to the season. And now we're seeing the benefit of it.
39. $40. Yeah.
Well, there was something amiss with that.
$47.
Referee Jan Verhaas has cleaned both the black and cue ball after that heavy contact.
$48.
Lovely touch.
Stephen Hendry, 48.
But that was an unforced error when Hendry was within sight of extending his lead to 4-1.
Trying to see what was wrong, but the pot was missed. Now, could that just be the spark that John Higgins needs? Because this is the type of frame, I'm certainly was in his seat thinking it was almost lost. Coming into the two reds to the left of the black. He's brought them into play. He's a little unlucky, really. Under normal circumstances, he'd have expected the black to be available into the opposite corner. It's not.
7.
And that's not the best positional shot. As I say, he was a little unlucky. If the black had been available into the right corner, he'd just rolled the red in and it'd been on the black. Tried to get to the other side of the table, and he's not played it well.
Black.
Now, is
14.
that a fortunate kiss or not? It's very tight. Whether he can pop that red down the cushion.
$15. $22. $23.
Perfect on the blue, just to drop behind choice of reds to the right corner pocket.
$28. $29.
All these points from Higgins arising from Hendry's failure at that routine pink.
Just came a little bit low on the black
36.
there, did John.
Okay.
So this tricky little red, he's just 12 points behind now. As you can get, well, off these remaining two reds, black or a blue, he wouldn't need the awkward pink. Set fair to win the frame now from that mistake.
Thanks.
Could it be a turning point in this
37.
match? A glance at the scoreboard. He's
44.
4 points behind, and it's important which colour he plays for now. Brown will
45.
do. Pots the brown, he goes 1 point in front, and the yellow, green, brown and blue, another 14 points. He'd be 15 points in front on the pink. Can't see a problem.
49. $51.
This was an unexpected chance that Higgins had to respond to. 3-1 down, and he has.
$54.
Hendry's blown this frame.
$58. $63.
Hendry was going well on 48 until he missed a simple pink. Higgins pounced, cleared to the pink with 69 and reduces Hendry's lead to 3-2.
Thank you. Frame 6. Stephen Hendry to break.
cue ball not close enough to the ball cushion to prevent Higgins taking on this long red.
He's not too many of those in this evening. No long pots, particularly off the break, which is, well, invariably. There you go. It's very low, isn't it? Well, Stevens will be getting lower as well.
Yes, Higgins only 57% on long pots, but Hendry let him off by missing himself.
Well, John Higgins is walking back to his seat, because as soon as that cue ball came off the cushion, he could see it was going in the middle pocket. He won't be happy with that.
Not bad luck, simply a misjudgment. Well, that's the second time this evening that Hendry has played one of those long pots with side, and he's not got anywhere near either of them.
One. Eight.
Well, he'll be playing this red in the knowledge he's going to run into other balls. Just got to judge the kiss off the other reds here. Don't think he can play for the black. Well, made certain he got up the table. Possible blue. He'd like that red to stay near the right centre, which it has done.
Because he can get a colour from it.
$15. $20. $21. $28. $29.
Knew that the cue ball was coming through the bunch without needing any great pace. $36. Terrible miss from Hendry. Didn't lead to this break, but
37.
I think he was still thinking about that one when he played another bad shot.
Yes, I think there's only one miss that's occupying Stephen Hendry's
44.
line at the moment, and that was the pink in the last frame. He looks certain to go 4-1 in front. This is a straightforward pink.
45.
And it's setting back. There's a nice view. If you were sat in the audience, that's the sort of view you'd get from this side of the table. Great for viewing snooker. Well, is that slightly
52.
misjudged? Can he get past the pink? Well, there's another red, two left of the pink that will go in this corner, so he's okay.
$53.
And I've been saying all night that John Higgins looks a bit edgy. He doesn't anymore. On that last frame, which, as I say, I'm certain he was thinking he'd lost at one time.
61.
And taking these very nicely.
$68.
Hendry resigned to losing this frame.
$69.
Applause breaks out, not so much for the shot, but because it was the ball that left Hendry needing a snooker. But he's not going to be playing for snookers. Higgins is quite
76.
likely to make a century here.
Thanks, John. 77.
Yes, and I think he'd like to make a century.
84.
Stephen Hendry, particularly in the early part of this match, was stealing all the thunder. He made
85.
a century and a 90. Well, John was just showing him anything you can do. Won't challenge the high break, which is by Barry Hawkins with a magnificent
92.
145.
$93.
It could well be the total clearance, though, which means all 15 reds with colours, plus the colours in sequence.
100. $101. $106. $108. $111.
This is the 321st time that John Higgins has made a century in competition.
115. $120. $126.
John Higgins snaps the last frame with a 69 clearance to pink.
Foul.
And,
Stephen Hendry 7. John Higgins 126 on the frame.
and he takes that one with a break of 126. The black didn't count because he went in off. It's 3-all.
That's why I don't think he started this match with his confidence at an all-time high.
Thank you. The 9th frame, John Higgins to Prix.
And when he was 3-1 down, he was looking for a bit of inspiration, a bit of help. And he got it from his opponent, who missed the easy pink. And it's all turned around from there.
Hendry's long red fails, and if Hendry does lose without winning another frame, it will be the easiest thing in the world to identify the turning point. It was this pink. Missed that when he was 48-0 in the 5th frame, leading by 3 frames to 1. Are there enough balls diagonally in the way to cover the easy red? There always seemed a high probability that there would be. But could Higgins make a plant of that red onto the red nearest the pocket?
I think he may have left this red. I think there may be a gap. There is. Slightly hampered by the green. Doesn't make it any easier. It seems to me as though he's going to have to roll it quite slowly to stay on position on the black. So he's got to hit that cue ball in the middle. No unintentional side here.
At the elevated cue, any unintentional side would swerve the cue ball.
1. Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17.
Hendry desperately needs a tide-turning contribution here, having lost the last 4 frames.
$24. $25. $32. $33.
Five reds, 5 blacks.
40.
But Hendry's overriding priority will be to make sure of clinching the frame.
41.
He won't strain to stay on the maximum. Once he's clinched the frame, it would be a different matter.
48. $49. $56. $57.
No matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstances, he's always there when he gets in amongst the balls, particularly around the black spot area. That kiss could have been nicer though. Anything but a full ball kiss, it'd have been
64.
on a couple of reds. Now he just got a tricky one into the right centre. It's there.
65.
So just the black. And one more red. And he's still in the match, and it's a good way to... Oh, that jumped off the cushion. That flew off the side cushion.
72.
Well, that's amazing. That seemed to be hit perfectly. Got to the side cushion and just sprung off it. And he's on nothing. Unless this red second from the left goes in the corner, well, it looked a formality. I think it goes, but only just. No.
Stephen Hendry,
He's
72.
unlucky there.
Yes. No maximum, and hasn't even clinched the frame. Although it would be remarkable if if he lost the frame,
Yeah.
having made a break of 72.
Need
Yes,
an
well, there's
extension on this one?
75 left on the table.
Doesn't look so.
So he's got a few points to spare. Stephen can't believe that. No, I've got to be honest with you. He seemed to have popped the black and come off the side cushion perfect.
Thanks. 1.
Higgins could afford
8.
a couple of pinks or one blue,
9.
but otherwise it's got to be blacks from these remaining reds if he's to clear up for frame and match.
Nothing he can do. He must be wondering what happened there. Oh, well, he'll be back at the table. He tried to
Higgins,
flick that in with a
15.
little bit of side and misjudged it. So Stephen should win the frame now. Just the red needed.
One.
So there is going to be at least one more frame.
Eight in the frame. Stephen Hendry.
Hendry made a break of 72, was robbed of continuing his attempt on the maximum by a very springy bounce from the cushion, but has still won the frame, but still trails by 5 frames to 4. Hendry's break-off shot, not really near enough the baulk cushion. He'll be relieved that Higgins missed that long red with black ball position available. Almost made a mess of that. Is much too thin on the red, flicked another, but from the Higgins point of view, it's ended up very well.
Well, unbelievable, but it looks as though he snookered Stephen on all reds. It was a poor safety. He's had a result there, and Stephen's got to be a little bit careful here. Just hit the wrong red, you can leave one. played that well.
Well, that was too thin from Hendry. He didn't mean to go inside the outside red. Straight pot. Bad miss.
Well, I don't think John can believe it. I can't give an explanation.
Not on the black though.
One.
Hendry disgusted with his loss of position.
Yes, and looking accusingly at the top cushion, whether he felt it sprung off. He had one in the last frame. It's hard to say. What does he do? Take the pink or the blue? It's unbelievable, you know. Fearless. He really is fearless.
6.
Hours of practice at that sort of shot. Within a match, you just get the one chance. Sport the effect with that shot though.
Stephen Hendry, 6.
It's funny that you've mentioned a few shots tonight, Smith Clive, when he's been playing with side on, that type of shot, which is a quarter ball pot, and it's as though he's not cueing it smoothly, and he's pushing the cue ball into the object ball.
1.
And that mistake could be extremely costly.
Six. 7.
I think he's
13.
played for the red just above the black. Well, he must be on it. Yes, perfectly.
Hendry will be fearing that this could be the last visit of the match. There are several reds in a cluster, but
21.
very often that doesn't stop a player of the class of Higgins or Hendry.
22.
Yes, this is an excellent chance for John. Really, all he's got to do is keep himself together. Now, normally I wouldn't say that about John Higgins, but he has been struggling to get the results just recently.
29.
So when you see that winning line, you can just tense up a little bit. Playing the plant.
30.
And that's why he played it. Offered him perfect position on the pink. And brought another red into play.
$36. 37.
You'd be surprised now if John Higgins didn't win the frame and match at this visit.
40.
And, okay, we could hark back to that pink that Stephen missed when he was 3-1, looking like 4-1. But you've got to take
44.
advantage of those lapses. And that's what John Higgins has done. I thought in the early part of the match, he looked a little bit nervy. But as I say, he's gone quite a while without getting the consistent results. That's why he's dropped to number 6 in the world. No one doubts that he's one of the best players ever picked up a cue. And I just felt he wasn't really letting himself go. But he was given an opening. And boy, has he grabbed it with both
51.
hands.
58. 59.
Hendry fearing the worst, and with good reason.
Yes, that blue, one more red and a colour, and I don't think Stephen will bother coming back
64.
to the table. Good performance this from John Higgins. And no matter
65.
what you say about chances given, he's shown that he is returning to some of his best form. This has been an excellent performance.
From 3-1 and 48-0 down, Higgins cleared up that frame with 69, made 126
72.
in the frame after that. Two more solid, substantial efforts of 57 and 55 to go to 5-3. Hendry's failed maximum attempt in the 9th, reached
79.
72, and Hendry won that frame. But Higgins has classily exploited this chance
80.
to make this the clinching frame.
$86. John Higgins, 86, frame and a match.
From 3-1 down, John Higgins won 5 frames out of 6 and played extremely well to do so. Higgins wins by 6 frames to 4 and goes through to the final.